the end of the Darshan, listen to the words of Annamalai Swami I mentioned before. He was maybe the closest disciple of Ramana Maharshi. He left the body, I think, in 1995. And after Ramana's death, he himself became a Sadguru, and many people came to see him. The self is not like other lights. It is not an object that you either see or don't see. It is there all the time, shining as your own reality. If you refuse to acknowledge its existence, if you refuse to believe that it is there, you put yourself in an imaginary darkness. It is not a real darkness. It is just your own willful refusal to acknowledge that you are light itself. This self-inflicted ignorance is the darkness that has to be banished by the light of self-awareness. We have repeatedly to turn to this light of the self within until we become one with it. Bhagavan, it's the name for Ramana, Bhagavan spoke about turning inwards to face the self. That is all that is needed. If we look outwards, we become entangled with objects and we lose awareness of the self shining within us. But when, by repeated practice, we gain the strength to keep our focus on the self within, we become one with it, and the darkness of self-ignorance vanishes. Then, even though we continue to live in the false and unreal body, we abide in an ocean of bliss that never fades or diminishes. This is not going to happen in a moment, because lifetimes of wrong and ignorant thinking have made it impossible for most of us to focus intently and regularly on the self within. If you leave your house and start walking away from it, and if you continue this habit over many lives, you will probably be a long, long way from home when you finally decide that you have had enough and that you want to go back to where you started from. Don't be discouraged by the length of the journey, and don't slacken in your efforts to get home. Turn 180 degrees to face the source of your outward journey and keep moving back to where you started. Ignore the pain, ignore the discomfort, ignore the frustration of seeming not to get anywhere. Keep moving back to your source and don't let anything distract you on the way. Be like the river on its journey back to the sea. It doesn't stop. It doesn't take diversions or decide to flow uphill for a while. It doesn't become distracted. It just moves slowly and steadily back to the place its water originated from. And when the river dissolves in the ocean, river is no more. Only ocean remains.